Hi Leo, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your 2022 tarot predictions. This is a tarot reading for all Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I thank all of you for your support over the last year and some months. I can't thank you enough, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. It's wonderful. I love tarot. It's part of who I am, and I'm so grateful that we can share in this sacred art together. If you are new here, welcome to you. I post my readings every Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't resonate, don't ever force it. Just come back in a couple of days. It's always somebody's reading. It's not always going to be everyone's. You could also look on the Monday readings because the style is different every week. So obviously this week we've got a year ahead forecast, but other weeks it's a pick a card reading or a love tarot. There's one a couple times a year that I do that's a 4-month predictive reading. And if you like tarot and you like the channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. All right, what messages do you have for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What advice do you have for Leo, please? What does Leo need to know for the highest and best good for the year to come? Okay, so we'll start off by going month by month and with the tarot. Then we'll have an Angel Answers Oracle card reading. Then we'll have a special message from Louise Hay at the end. So we begin here with January. We've got the 9 of Swords. February, we've got the Devil. Wow, that's cool. Okay. Sorry, I got excited. I just want to make sure you can see these as we go through. March, you've got the Star. April, the 3 of Pentacles. Into May, we've got the 2 of Swords. June is the 7 of Pentacles. July is the 2 of Cups. August is the Page of Wands. September, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. Judgment is in October. November brings in the Sun. That's really cool because the Sun comes right before Judgment. 3 of Wands in December. The bottom of the deck, wow, things you're going to love this year. You know, gets off to, it's almost like somebody here has got a dark night of the soul as they come into 2022. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but this is awesome. You've got here Capricorn, Aquarius, Leo is here. You've got Cancer here. And you've got all the elements. You're definitely going to be in a transformational year. I love to see the fiery wand energy showing up here with our clarifiers. Wands are all about directing your thoughts into great ideas, motivation, insight, focus, the right use of will. And you have it with the Chariot too, okay? There's something about that. Using your own free will in a way that it's like, it's electrifying. You know, it's enterprise and growth and inner power right here. So with the Knight of Wands, if you have something that really knocked you flat on your back, you're going to rise to a place you didn't know was available. It is like your biggest comeback right here. The Knight of Wands, Knights have good intentions, okay? Sometimes they get, especially this one gets a bad rap for being in and out, but really he's enthusiastic. He can't wait to get going. It's like ready, set, go, Leo. The Knights are service and societal oriented. So with the Knight of Wands, sometimes he can be, he doesn't have as much depth at times, okay? He's all about action, taking action. The 2 of Wands as well, though. The 2 of Wands is a card of success. It is a card of reflection, though. So he looks out at, at your life. You're looking out at your life and mapping out where do you want to go, because the sky is the limit to you. He holds the world in his hand, but he wants a bigger world. So with the Chariot here, again, it has to do with will, all right? So there's something important about, some of you, it may even be about harnessing your own free will to be in the guidance of the divine, because you have it multiple times here. So with the Chariot, it's a card of successful outcomes. It's victory. It's law of attraction energy. He has the celestial curtain over his Chariot because it is connecting him to source. The Chariot's also protection. It affords him some protection. And his Chariot, too, is on the ground. So it's like bringing heaven to earth. It's also about balancing polarities, okay? And for some of you, it's going to be balancing the free will with really your higher self. So that lower mind and the higher mind, you have it here in the star too. That's going to be important. You know, when we see this black in the back, it's oftentimes the shadow. The shadow is your greatest guide into the light. So if you've been through hell and back, again, you're going to make your biggest comeback right here, right now. The Nine of Swords is still the tail end of that anxiety, uncertainty, not knowing, not having good direction. You know, the Dark Night of the Soul comes from a priest, a Spanish Carmelite priest, John of the Cross. And I'm going to keep this short, but I think it's important because we toss that term around and people don't even know what they're talking about. They just know it sucks. But what it really is, okay, so he tried to get his congregation to you know, love God in a different way. He felt like they needed to make changes and they didn't like his ideas, so they threw him in a hole. And when he was in this little hole, he was sad and he was saying, God, how could you forsake me in this way? So he wrote the poem, The Dark Night of the Soul. And then they pulled him out of the hole and they canonized him and he became, you know, this basically like a saint. I mean, it was a big deal. Anyway, but it really is a time where you feel like you've lost your entire identity. So it's like you have a divorce or the loss of a huge important relationship, the loss of a job, not knowing who you are. But again, the more is revealed, the truth is revealed to you. So in February, you got some growing pains right at the beginning of the month or beginning of the year. But when you get through this, you're going to leave behind some old cycles and they're not coming back. With the devil energy here, it's all about that toxicity that we can just get accustomed to, the familiarity of being in pain, of being anxious. And you don't have the Lovers here, but it's very similar in terms of the way the card is drawn, except instead of the devil, there's an archangel, and Adam and Eve are free. They're free and they're not bothered by temptations. And so with the devil, for somebody here too, it could even be getting sober, stopping drinking, stopping some bad habits, things that you know are not for your highest and best good. We're going to be done with those here in this year. It's limitation. It's bondage to things like material stuff. And it's also an energy too, though, of trickery and deceit. Okay, so for some of you, there may be some relationships that you move away from because they're just not honest relationships. And you might even say it's in a way that you just don't really care for the person. You don't really want to be around them, but you've been together for a long time, or it could be a friendship. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lover. But it's like something like that. And I'm going to tell you something. There is a relationship here. It's beautiful. And it's like, it's interesting because it shows up in the third month of each quarter. It's right through here. And so I do feel like as you leave this energy behind, you've paid the price of contrast. You know what you want and you're moving forward. And here we go. So this is interesting too with the star. We talked about the lower and the higher mind. They're represented with the water. Okay, the star is really the she's like born as a child would be born, right? She's born into this as a naked being intentionally because there is complete acceptance, complete freedom here. There's no hang-ups. She is the embodiment of strength, only it's the evolution of strength, right? So her hair's down, she's no longer clothed, all that stuff. And what they're trying to tell you here is it's that light at the end of the tunnel. It's that dawn of a new day. You have paid the price of contrast in the devil, and here you go. It's full of hope and opportunity, new beginnings. So the urns that she's pouring out, this mystical water, the one that she focuses on is the one that goes into the pool of consciousness, the seat of the soul. The other one is the lower mind. And so it's going back into the earth, and she almost disregards it, right? And so what they're trying to tell you is your power is through meditation. It's through connecting with source energy. That's your true freedom. And it's really who you are. And from that point, that jumping off place, it's like all things are born. Everything good comes into your life. There's great healing energy here. So if you're trying to heal a broken heart or some kind of toxic cycle, if there was an energy to, I do get almost like, I don't want to say sexual abuse, but it was like, there was something strange over here that seems of a sexual nature, okay? Something uncomfortable. That's all we're going to get into with this. But with that, it's the healing of that, okay? Sometimes people ask about human trafficking. I wouldn't rule it out. There's something about that feels uncomfortable to me. But here's your new beginning, okay? It's beautiful. It brings you forward in this synergy, in this energy where anything can be yours. So with the and this is in March, all right? Now into April here, we've got the Three of Pentacles. And, threes, again, are all about blending, multiplication, growth. It's, for some of you, it may be a new relationship that's very harmonious. And there's no using of anyone here. They have mutual respect. At work, too, if there was something at work where you felt very hindered or just didn't feel appreciated in some way, it's that coming together where everyone works well together. You have it again in the Sun, too, where you're going to be a magnet for people who have wonderful creative ideas, but there's no competition here. They've got him elevated up because they appreciate him, but it's not in a way of arrogance, all right? It's this way of unity and coming together. So for some of you, too, this could be a move. This can be a physical move into a house away from whatever dark, dank living situation you are in, if that was for you. But this is a coming together. It's a wonderful energy. So into May here, we've got this Two of Swords, and there's a little bit of uncertainty. Again, I feel like it's just some growing pains. You've got, let's see, 4 major arcana, 5 major arcana. Those are the trump of the tarot. So sometimes something like a Two of Swords is not as significant. It could just be a small hurdle if you're moving. It may be, too, just some indecision about where to go. In terms of a relationship, too, some of you may still be a little bit gun-shy from coming out of 2021, and it's just a guardedness. It could be somebody you're meeting, too, that's got a guardedness about them. But I almost feel like it has more to do with you, quite frankly. And some of you, too, may be wondering, is it worth your time? But you do have a soulmate here. I'd say it's time to put down the swords of fear and anger and allow yourself to walk free, because there's a deliberate choice here. It's not, it's like not seeing things for really what they are, but you've got so many cards that are shining the light right on what you need to see. So into June here, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. We like sevens. The Chariot's a 7. We've got a few 10s in here too. But with the Seven of Pentacles, sevens are all about victory, security, safety, alignment. Again, it's that successful conclusion. So you really are seeing the physical manifestations. Again, anybody who's moving, you're putting your place together here. It feels good. It feels like home. It's seeing the growth and the opportunities. Others of you, though, if it's work related, again, you've got a nice harmonious energy that starts all the way back in March. So by the time you're into June, it feels great. Now, some of you, that Two of Swords may indicate fear regarding a promotion. Like it has to do with your own sense of security and wondering, am I going to be able to do that? And the answer is yes. Okay. So with the Seven of Pentacles, you see those manifestations cultivated from the garden of your mind. Your thoughts are becoming things. And so we always want to be measured with our feelings, because your feelings are really the secret and the key to it all. Those strong feelings, those strong desires become creations. You're the cause. Everything around you is the effect. And so into July here, we've got a match with this Two of Cups. It's a beautiful energy. We talked a little bit about the meaning of two, but with the Two of Cups, it's an energy of great love, a deep love, two people who want to be in love, and two people who are exclusive too. I don't see this as a casual thing where there's other people kind of rolling around in the relationship. It's definitely two-sided and appreciated. If some of you are planning a wedding into the summer, it would be a great time for that as well, all right? And so it's definitely being in love. Now, for some of you, this could be an unexpected meeting. So if you've been focused on other things like moving, getting yourself together here, by the time you get into July, there's somebody new here if you're not in something already. But again, it's a serious commitment and somebody who's ready for a relationship. They want you. I mean, they want to be in a relationship with you. And so with the Page of Wands, this is in August, This is fun. I love the Page of Wands. He's the life of the party, you know. He walks into the room and everybody smiles. This also could be your energy too. It's like you've made this comeback and you walk in and the whole room lights up. The pages are all about new energy. They are optimism, enthusiasm. They're somewhat like the Fool. So we give them a bad rap as being immature, but really they're like a fresh, clean energy. And you know what else? He's got that little red bird on his hat. The star card has it too, but back here, in this particular card, it looks more orange, but in some decks it does look red. I often think of that as, because that little bird is on the tree of life and the star, as like when you see birds, you're seeing cardinals. Communicate. Say to the universe, I see you bringing my desires. I see that you are bringing in what I've been asking you for. You can say it right out loud, but it's like a rebirth. It's that connection with source energy, always with you. You're never alone in this universe. The universe is inside of you. So while there's glee and fun and getting out there, again, it'll be a great time to connect with people, meet new friends. You're going to have fun. It's like a summer of fun awaits for you. And it goes right into September. The energy just continues here. So with the Ten of Pentacles, it is the wealth card, but tens are dominion. They're perfection. It's like a new cycle that brings in this brilliant, energy of just being full of power and life. It feels great. Again, with a relationship and money too, though. If there's something that you wanted, like I said, if you're moving, that'll be really good. But if it's something else, like you're looking at getting a new car, or even I see a boat for somebody, and maybe it's just a boat ride. If you go, no, God, no, I'm not taking care of a boat. I've had one before. I would never have one again, but that's just me. But anyway, it's that kind of stuff. It's a symbol of luxury too, though. So for some of you, it may just be symbolic of having extra money to really do things that feel luxurious to you. There's another law of attraction teacher that talks about seeing limos. And when you see limos, it's like an indication of the universe telling you money is on the way. My daughter saw one the other day at, somewhere where she was. And I said, well, there you go, the universe. And we had just had the conversation. So I said, the universe is delivering that. But with this too, I do feel like it's, again, that harmonious energy. Relationships are good. There's strong friendships here. There's abundance here. There's no lack here. The only energy that sometimes we overlook with this, or the important factor of this, is appreciation. Having appreciation for things around you that are in your life. And especially when you get kind of swept away in those summer months, we build momentum, and sometimes we forget how cool our lives are becoming. We don't stop and really say, this is really cool. This is the energy where you say, this is really cool, and you get more of it. So you've got a 10 there, then you've got 20 with judgment. And judgment, it's like you've got a whole new lease on life when you bring in the sun and judgment together. This is powerful. This is revolutionary. And it's a strong energy. There's no doubt about it. Now, again, I read the cards and what they mean. I'm not just making up predictions. That is what the card symbolizes. And sometimes people will say, I try to do all these things and I don't see a change. It's something embedded in their subconscious. And that's what it is. It's some belief that they've got lurking that needs to be changed, because the energy is here. All you have to do to have these things is line up with the energy. The things that you want are already in existence. You don't have to create shit. Excuse my language. You just have to be an energetic match. And so with judgment, this is a freedom. It's that realization, that new perspective, renewal. It's a fresh view. Some of you, if it's a decision, again, about moving forward with somebody, it's already here. They are, they're free from the coffins of the ego. They're ascending to the divine here. You've got Archangel Gabriel. And so it's like an energy of self-mastery, of knowing who you are and knowing that anything is possible for you. There's nothing off limits here. So again, you're in this great harmonious energy all the way through into the winter months. So as we get into September, this is October, November, and December. It's beautiful. And we allow the trajectory to unfold. We are the strangest species, because the humans are the only ones that try to predict long-term negative outcomes. I don't know why we don't just live in joy. You look at a rabbit, the damn thing's happy all the time. I mean, that rabbit probably has more to fear than you do, but it's just having joy in the journey. And so with this, we allow ourselves to embrace this. I do feel like, again, you've got somebody who really loves you, but you have people too, as we look at these sunflowers, they point towards the baby, right? It's like this magnetism where people feel like you're an important person in their lives. They love your energy. It's high vibrational too. So when we talked about back in the Page of Wands, back in August, meeting people, it carries you all the way into November and December. This is a card of victory, achievement, success, feeling on top of the world. And again, there's a synergy where you're pulling people in that are going to be great creative partners for you. This is the kind of energy of a life coach, of somebody who builds other people up. It can even be something like a teacher, like of an art teacher or music teacher or something like that. Somebody who has a passion, though, for the content. And it's that kind of teacher that you never forget. Or it can be you on somebody else. But it's that sort of thing. I think of, like, my daughter plays the violin, and she had a fabulous violin teacher who loved music. And it was instrumental in my daughter's development as a musician. It's that kind of energy where you meet somebody that's very important. So the Three of Wands is even more success. It is a card of waiting, but I feel like it's an unbothered waiting. If you've got plans that you start to lay in, I would say September-ish, it's the cultivation, but there's no stress here. There's no worry here. He sits back and he looks at his accomplishments. And for some of you, that's part of this. As you look back at the year, you reflect as you go into 2023, and you say this was a year of wonderful happenings, wonderful events coming to pass. And so let's see here what the angels have to say. There's a bit of, like we said, there's going to be some growing pains at the beginning, but it's worth it. It is worth it to go through that and leave it all behind. And it's really miraculous the way that the star and the sun and judgment show up after the devil, because that really is the energy. You have the tower would be in there, would be between the devil and the star, and the tower basically frees up the restricted energy of the devil. But you don't need it. It's not necessary, but it's just, I don't know. I just like to talk about the cards, I guess. That's why we're here, isn't it? Okay, so you've got abundance. Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. It's going to be an important year for you. It's up to you. So really everything, like we said, comes from within you. You attract what you are. Okay. And so we have to be aware of that. Like when I hear people say, I'm doing all these things. Well, if you're not enjoying any of them, you don't enjoy meditation, you're doing it because you feel like you have your back against the wall and you hate doing it, or you don't like volunteering, but you're doing it to draw on other things, they may not be the right experiences. Ask your angels, okay? They will answer you. We have to find experiences that bring us joy. Now, if you're having joy in the meantime, maybe you have to put yourself out there a little more. Talk to people. Take action. Tell them you're looking for a partner. You're looking for a new job. Those sorts of things. You've got a yes, all right? So I still feel like that may not be totally your energy. People who are not feeling it. But if there is, it could be one person on here that was for them. And this is Louise Hay. I release the need to control my life. What you control the most causes you the most pain. And this is from the ego level, guys. Breathe in, breathe out, and let go of trying to control your life. So she means that really from that willful kind of place, being more unconditional, because there are great aspects here. There's beautiful energy coming for you in the year ahead. I love you, Leo, and I'll be back again soon.